I'd like to welcome everybody to the awards assembly for the 8th Annual Math League International Summer Tournament. It's hard to believe that just 4 days ago, we were in Broward Student Center having our welcome dinner, and here tonight we are saying goodbye. It's been a very exciting 4 or 5 days that we've had on campus here. I think anyone who's been here in previous years would say this is definitely the best summer we've had. At this time, I would like my co-director, Adam Rachel, to come up here and make a few remarks. Adam, just be very careful. Don't go near those boxes, please.
Okay. So that was a reference, for those of you who weren't here, to last year when I made an ill-advised decision to try to add just one little finishing touch to this gigantic dome project that had been put up meticulously over a course of hours, and then we actually didn't have it when it was time to do the show. So thanks for that. I don't really have much to say here except to echo what Dan has already said, which is we've been doing this for 8 years, 4 in California, 4 here now, so this is the 8th class we've seen, and it was a great, great group of people, and I really enjoyed working with you and watching you learn and seeing how you did on the contests, and one of the other things that I'm going to announce now is that I guess things went a little too smoothly this year, because usually right about now I'm announcing an error in the printed out book of contests. Every single one of you will get a booklet that has all of the contests from the week and solutions in it. And it doesn't look like we have any errors, but just because we don't know we have any errors doesn't mean we don't have any errors. So the first person who can find an error in that booklet and report it to me will get a prize to be determined later. Good luck, happy hunting. I hope you all fail at that task. Am I going to call over John? Am I going to call over you? All right, watch out, there's some boxes on your way. I give you back to Dan.
Thank you very much, Adam. I particularly hope that no one can find an error in that booklet, since every symbol, every page of that booklet was typed by me. I spent all year working on the contest that you took in 3 or 4 days. It's a labor of love on my part, but it does go by pretty quickly. I guess I feel like somebody who's made a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner, spent hours making it, and people eat the dinner in a short amount of time. John, how are we doing over there? Do you have what we need there or not? Okay, well, for now, what we'll do is we did something different this summer that we haven't ever done before, and that is we did a math scavenger hunt. And this is the one thing that I really had absolutely nothing to do with. This was all designed by John Hagan, who's standing there trying to figure out how to use a computer. John is our supervisor of counselors, and I have to tell you, he worked tirelessly keeping everything going at camp. He's just an amazing man. I taught him originally. He was 12 years old. John, were you 12 when I taught you? 13? 14. He's getting older every time I see him. I had him in my honors 9th grade class. That year, I was a little fanatical, and people find this hard to believe, but we did Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2 in 1 year. Now, he did know some algebra before he began the course. We also, even though we were in New Jersey, we gave what's called the New York Regents exam. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's the exam that students in New York State are required to take in order to get what's called a Regents diploma. I wanted to prove to the students that they had actually learned the material we did. In fact, not most of the students, but some of the students were able to get 100s on that Regents exam. I think John only got a 99 probably. No, I don't remember what John got. Well, what he's actually saying is there was a young woman in the class who always beat him on every test, and that's why he finished second in his high school class instead of first. But we're going to have John describe what the scavenger hunt was like. It was very interesting. It took place all over the campus at the College of New Jersey, and he's also going to announce the winner of the scavenger hunt. So, John? Don't you want to come up? Just a second. I have a mic here.
The scavenger hunt was inspired by an idea I saw at Cambridge University. They do it like 2 or 3 times a year now. And basically what they do is they invite middle school students, which is part of how I got the idea, to go about their campus. They call it Game of Dragons. And they basically invite local middle schools, and they have questions all around the campus. And at different stations, they have a series of questions. We had to modify it a little bit because our teams are larger, and we also had to modify it a bit because there's very little information about what they actually do. So we had to make it up. But the basic idea was inspired by Cambridge University, where we had all of our teams, we had 15 teams, going around the campus, going from station to station, and based upon whether they got enough questions right at each station, we sent them to a different station without telling them where they were going or whether they were heading really in the right direction. And at the end, we basically, I'm just going to announce the results. We had one team that basically got through 4 of the tough stations, if you will. There were 5 secret counting stations, and this team was the only team to get to 4 of them correctly, and that was Team H. So Team 8, we have an award for you, a small little prize, if you can come down and get it. Do you want to describe it, or? Do you want to describe it, or should I describe the prize? Do you want to describe it, or should I? So the prize we have for you, it looks like a puzzle. I guess ultimately it is a puzzle of sorts. It is much, much more challenging than it looks. And it's very portable. It looks like you would take a couple of minutes to do it. That is not going to be the case. This is sort of the kind of thing that looks easy when you start, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, this is way more challenging than I think. Hopefully, teammate will enjoy playing with it. And if they come up now, we have 1 for each person on that team.
Good job. Congratulations. It is definitely hard, trust me. Sure. Good job. Oh. We're 1 shy. You got it? Okay.
And don't feel badly if it takes you a couple of days to solve that puzzle. I've had that puzzle on my table now for 3 years, and I'm still trying to solve it. Of course, that's in between writing math contests, so I won't embarrass myself too much by saying I haven't finished it yet. Next, I'd like to welcome Glenn Whitney to the stage. Glenn is the man responsible for the artwork exhibited, and he's going to tell you a little bit about what he does. I just want to say one thing. Glenn has been a terrific friend to me. I first came here 4 years ago, and he's been coming every summer since because of the wonderful work he does. He's just done a terrific job, and the students, I think, would all agree that we had a lot of fun this afternoon building this. Thank you, Glenn.
Thanks for the nice introduction, Dan. I really appreciate it. And I'm always happy to come here. And, sometimes people come and say, oh, I don't really have much to say. But I'm going to do the opposite. I have something very important to say. And I'm here to say it to the participants in this camp, to you guys who helped create this thing. And it's very simple. It's this. It's thank you. What am I thanking you for? I'm thanking you to giving me the opportunity to try and discover new things and make new efforts to produce something that we can do together that brings out some mathematical idea or brings a new way of looking at the world. And it always challenges my creativity. This is the place where I try out all my new ideas. So when you see something here that we're doing, that's something that's completely new. As far as I know, there's nothing like this that's ever been built before, but I can guarantee you it won't be the last time. And the reason that I feel confident, there's a few reasons why I feel that this is a wonderful place for us to unleash our creativity. One, of course, is that you guys are all really creative, and I appreciate that, and I feed off of that energy that you have. And the second reason is that, as you know, you haven't been here in previous years. Some of you, there might be overlap from year to year. It doesn't always work out, but that's okay because we always have a great time together discovering, seeing whether it's going to work, how it's going to work out. So this is a place where it's okay to fail. It's all right if a sculpture collapses on the stages before it goes up. We're not going to see anything more about that at all for the rest of the evening, I promise you. And then the third reason is just that it's so much fun with you guys. There's always so much energy. We can accomplish so much here. And I want to say there's been a lot of variation over the various years that I've been here. I think this is just one of the most magnificent things that you guys have built. It worked. It came out really well. And for those of you who weren't able to participate, just a couple words about this. This is an example of a mathematical problem that's being investigated since 1967. It was discovered by a gentleman named John Conway. There's a very simple rule. If you know what the boxes are on one layer, there's a very simple rule that tells you what the boxes should be on the next layer. And this has been a way of modeling how cells behave or how we can compute things. That's been being studied for many decades now. But this was the very first pattern that was ever created, but we've looked at it in a new way. Usually people use little pieces like counters on a piece of paper, or they might use little dots on a computer screen. As far as I know, nobody's ever built it with each layer on top of the next. And so this is now closing a loop that's been around for 50 years, and I was really thrilled to participate in it with you guys. Thanks so much, and I hope to see some of you next year.
All right, Glenn has to run now. He has to put together some of the pieces that he left in Decker Hall when we were working earlier today. It isn't that he doesn't want to hear the rest of whatever I have to say, because he loves listening to me talk. I know that. Next, we have what I call our blooper reel. What this is John Hagen has compiled a list of answers to questions without anybody's name shown that gave us some questions about whether we should accept them as correct or incorrect. So John's going to take it from here. He's going to show on the screen answers that people wrote, and he'll discuss whether we count it as correct or incorrect. John?
So some of you might remember these questions well enough to remember the correct answer that might lead you, but for some of these, they're just amusing things to see that we saw that made us laugh. Some of them are things that made us think and like, how should we grade this? This is the first one of those kind, where pretty obviously the answer is 2019 over 1010, which we do a lot. We put 2019 in our answers. We weren't quite sure if that was a 9 or a 4. Then we looked elsewhere on the paper. This wasn't too hard in this case. And would you mark that correct or not? Well, you can see what we did. We marked it correct. This one here. This is a case where it might have been fairly tricky to figure out what he was trying to say here, and this is actually a question most people did not get right. Fortunately, he had written a previous attempt here that kind of let us know what this was. Without this, we wouldn't have known what this was. He was trying to say 5 square root of 5. We recognized that, and we gave him credit. Third one, this one here, we weren't quite sure what to do because this is right. This technically is wrong. So what would you do in that case? Would you mark it correct or not? We marked it correct. This is correct if you use pi as 3.14, so it's actually a fairly accurate answer anyway, and certainly he had the right answer. This is another one that not many people got right, so we were happy to give him credit. Next one, is that a 3 or a 5? Or none of the above? The correct answer was 5. Would you give that credit? We did. I don't think I remember why I have this one. I'm pretty sure it has to do with whether that was a 4 or not. Is that a 4 or a 7 right there? And while we tried to grade it, we had a 7 here and a 4 here. So is that a 4 or a 7? It needs to be a 4. We counted that as a 4, so he got credit for that. This one here. So this one here was interesting. The answer was 2/3 because we asked only for the slope. This person gave us an equation of a line that clearly has slope of 2/3. And let me see if I can find it here. No, there they are. And he gave us an intercept that we didn't ask for, and it's unclear what the intercept of this could be any line. It just knowing the answer was 2/3, knowing that the intercept could be anything. What he did is he took the intercept, he took the reciprocal of the slope as directed and the reciprocal of the original intercept. That's what he has there. Is that correct or not? We only asked for slope. We said okay. This one here is not a grading issue. This was just a funny answer. It was an infinite sequence, and he answered infinity and beyond. Here's a case where the person gave us too much information. We asked, in this question, we asked to the nearest minute, what time would something happen? He gave us an accurate answer, but not to the nearest minute. Correct or not? We gave that credit. Here's one. So we asked for one root. I think we asked for the positive root, and in parentheses, it would appear he also gave us the negative root, which we did not ask for. Correct or not? We are way too generous. We said correct. What is that? To me, that looks like a 9037. The correct answer is 4037. Once again, you might have guessed, we graded it. We are nice beyond words. This year, 42. The correct answer is 1/5. That's a tough one. I think we also marked that correct. Although I think we decided, we were going to mark it correct. We saw this answer is -5, and we're like, no. That's the way this person writes 5s, no bueno. See all the 5s here? So we took the credit away once we figured that out. We give some of these a little too much thought. All right. Where am I going here? Okay, so here's one. The correct answer for 56 was inside. No bueno, no credit for that one. Here the answer was the product of 12 and 144. So the correct answer, if I remember correctly, is 1728. He gave us the two factors that we needed to multiply together to get 1728. And we said, heck no, no way. What do we have, calculators at our desks? This is a good one. So this is one. So we've seen a lot of, before the contest, if you're a parent, before the contest, we are very careful to say, we do not want you to say T for true and F for false, and you're beginning to find out why. So this person answered false. The correct answer is false. And what would you do for this? We almost gave him extra credit. We marked it correct. All right. How about that one right there? Is that a 10? The person grading wants that to be a 10. I think the next one gives you a little more clue as to what we did. Is the next one? The next one's different. On this one here, we originally graded it as wrong. You can see I threw in a couple of 6s. And we looked at a 6 here and this 6 candidate here, and we decided that it was, in fact, a 10. We marked it correct. Which brings us to this.
I can't see it.
Take that clapping back. We clapped at first too, but I looked at it more closely this morning and decided that it's not what it appears, but there's a double story to this. One is, I told people before the contest to guess if they didn't finish all the questions, and I said, guess 10 if you want. Okay, so that's part of the background. And so I thought that this person took me very literally and got 2 questions right because of it. That is in fact not what happened. You can look real carefully at one of the 10s, there's an erased 5. So what actually happened is what he did, one of the last 10 questions, which happened to be a 10, ran out of time and just wrote 10 for all the others. Which did get him 1 more point, so this is the one, you can't quite see, but there's a 5 right behind that 10 right there. This is another one. Is that 4637? He wants it to be a 4037. And that's his 0. I think we said no to that. Oh, wait, we said no, and then we saw this at the bottom, and we said, okay, there's a 0 that actually looks like that 0, so we marked it right. We did that a couple of times where we actually marked it wrong, saw a number later, and changed our mind. And I think that's it. That's all the ones.
As you can see, we really do go out of our way to be fair. We actually sometimes have 5 and 10-minute conversations about a single answer, where we go back and forth and we poll everybody whose opinion we respect, and then we make a final decision based on a consensus that we get. At this time, we're going to do the certificates of merit. Everyone who is here is going to get a certificate of merit. We're going to do it a little differently than we have in the past, where we've called everybody up individually. Instead, we're going to do it by teams. When your team is called, and please listen carefully because we have had a little trouble with this in the past. I'm not going to say left stage or right stage. I tried that 2 years ago and didn't know the difference myself, so that didn't work. When your team is called, you're going to come up over here on the stairs where I'm pointing. You're not going to come up on the side where I'm pointing now. It's the side over here. All right, before we do this, I would be remiss not to introduce the man who really had the idea for this tournament 10 years ago, approached me about it, and we first started it 8 years ago at Stanford University, and that's Dr. Ray Hu. So Dr. Hu?
Dan wanted me to say something in Chinese.
not sure.
OK， 很荣幸，非常荣幸跟大家能够在这里跟大家在一起。
Don't get carried away. That's enough.
你们都是非常勤奋、非常聪明、非常聪颖，我感到非常的荣幸能够跟你们今天能够跟你们在一起，还有这个整个这 tournament 跟你们在一起。我只是希望说，我两个小孩还没你那么大，他们还没你们大，他们长大如果能够成为像你们这样，或者跟你们这样接近，我就已经非常荣幸了。OK，Thank you very much。
I want to say something very personal about this man. This past November, my stepson had brain surgery in Seattle. It was emergency surgery. My wife and I flew out there on one day's notice to be there for the operation. Dr. Who lives in Seattle, but it's quite a distance from the hospital. Actually, he lives about 30 minutes from Seattle itself. We came into Seattle, I think it was around 10 or 11 p.m. at night. He knew I was coming. He was at the airport for me and my wife and my grandson. He drove us first to our hotel so we could get our rooms. We then went to the hospital. It's now close to midnight. We had special permission to visit my stepson, and Dr. Who was with us, came to the hospital. He had never met my stepson before, and then drove us back to our hotel. He also offered to do many other things, but I think he had done enough at that time. Some of you here have seen my stepson, Herb. Herb has been a huge asset to me, and I really want him to come to this assembly tonight, this awards assembly, so that I could thank him in public in front of everybody. I hope he gets to see this video sometime, and he knows how much I appreciate what he did for me. He carried my book bag when it was heavily laden down. He found anytime I was about to forget to do something or to make a mistake of any sort, he helped me. He's recovering now. Hopefully he's going to go back to work at the end of August, beginning of September. But I want to thank Dr. Who for everything he did for me and my family at a very, very stressful time for us. Thank you very much. All right, it's time for the team awards. Not the team, I'm sorry. It's time for the certificates of merits. We're going to do this by teams, I believe. Is that right? All right, so the first team to be honored will be, what is it, Team 1? So Team 1, come from this side over where I'm pointing with your counselors. And come on stage, and you're going to get your certificates. Each student will get a certificate of merit. We'll get a book by one of the most famous writers I've ever heard of, me, and Steve Conrad and Adam Rachel. And they also get the booklet, which has all the contest problems and solutions for every problem that we did here. So if you're in 6th and 7th grade or 7th grade, you'll be able to not only look at your questions, you'll be able to look at what the students in the rising 9th and 10th graders, formerly 8th and 9th graders, were doing on their contests.
Should probably, sorry about that. I should probably add that the offer I made earlier about the first person to find a mistake in these booklets does not apply to parents. It has to be a kid who finds it in order to win the prize.
I will say there is one, actually 2 mistakes in the book that are non-mathematical. And they're not really mistakes, but they're misstatements. And I will give you credit if you're the first person to come up and point out what that mistake is. It's not a mathematical error, I will tell you that. All right, Team 2, please come up.
So give her the certificate. tried.
All right? All right, team 3 may come up now.
Why don't we wait for them to all get the certificates, allow a moment for a picture, and then get them like right now and walk around? Yeah, I might too. Yeah, we did after they stood there. Good work. Good job.
Team 4 may come up now.
So, in case there's any confusion, we're just letting them get the certificates and stand there in case anybody wants to take a picture, and they'll bring the book.
Want me to say?
Good job. Work. Working with you.
I just want to make sure that it's clear that every team, every person on every team will be called at this time. Getting the certificate of merit does not mean you're not going to get another award later on. Everyone gets the certificate of merit. Everyone deserves a certificate of merit. Team 5, please come up. Team 6 may come up at this time. Team 7 may come up now. Team 8 may come up now. Team 8. Team 9 may come up now.
even though him is a primary school student, according to his plight.
I don't know why I'm happy of this, even though like I think I'm gonna get the medal. That I'm really happy.
I hope I can too.
You know, being full of yourself is really good sometimes. Because that means you're really confident.
Actually good, but it's called that's my expectations when you're not. 哎，怎么拍完了？我说谁拍了？
他拍我。
Team 10, please come to the stage.
When we get to the
Team 11, please.
Why this is tougher? Okay, go. Congratulations.
All right. You can go now. Now we phone. Okay, good. Come on. Team 12, please come forward. I hope you all see how much these counselors care for the children who are with us. They really work very hard, staying up very late at night and getting up early in the morning to be with these participants.
yeah, so with all that stuff in hand.
Team 13 can come down now. Team 14 can come down at this time. Team 15 should come down at this time. Team 15.
For a picture.
All right, let's have a round of applause for all those students. All right, before we get to the individual awards, I always like to take a minute or two for some reflection and also sometimes some personal anecdotes. Those who have been here in the past know I've spoken about how my brother was a big influence on my life by buying me puzzle books when I was in second or third grade. We have a nice number of books to give out tonight to our individual prize winners, and I wanted to talk to you about the importance of books. But I'm going to say something almost sacrilegious tonight, and that is, it's not just math books that are important, but all books are important. And reading is one of the most important things you can do. I was not a very good reader when I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. But when I was 11 years old, my brother came to me with the book I'm holding in my hand, not this edition, this is a newer edition of the book. And he knew I had never read a real book by myself, ever. I had read some children's books. But this book was really an adult book, an adult science fiction book, sometimes referred to as pulp fiction. And my brother had just finished it and said, "This is a great book." So he asked me if I would read it, and I said no. I'm not going to read it. So what he did instead is he read the first 15 or 20 pages or 25 pages. I don't remember how many pages he read. And as he read it, I got very engrossed in the story. And I think you know what I'm going to say next. He then handed me the book and said, "I'm not reading any more of this. You have to read it yourself." And I read what many consider to be the greatest science fiction space opera ever written. It's written by a man named Edmund Hamilton. None of you have probably heard of him, but you've heard of Superman, I'm sure. He was not the creator of Superman, but he was one of the original authors of the comic book Superman. This is a book that changed my life. There are several books that changed my life. The puzzle books that those of you who were here previous years know that I've spoken about. Some books by Martin Gardner, a famous math writer, popularizer, as I said in one of the newsletters recently. He changed my life. But this book had a greater influence on me as far as reading literature than any other book. And reading literature is something important. You don't want to just do mathematics. There's more to life than mathematics. I love mathematics. I spend every day of my life doing mathematics. But I also spend every day of my life, or try to spend every day of my life, reading. Read the reviews of this book on Amazon.com. You will see reader after reader talking about how, when they were children, they read this book, and how, as adults, they read this book again. I read this again about 10 years ago. It took me a few pages to get into it, and I could not believe what a fantastic book this is. Now, I would like some of you to have the same experience I have. So on that table right there are 12 new copies of this same book. And maybe some of you would be interested in reading it, but I'm not going to make it that easy for you. John? You know, John, I count on you, and you let me down. Oh, you have it up already? Oh, I didn't. My back is to it. All right. I didn't realize that John put this up already. In order to get a copy of this book for yourself, I have 12 copies of this book on that table. I also have a whole bunch. I have a bunch of printed copies of what you're seeing on the screen. You may take a picture of that if you want, or after we're finished with our program, you can pick this up. My mother was probably the primary influence with my brother in my life. My mother loved cryptograms. I spoke about this last year to the participants, but not to the parents. My mother would take books of cryptograms wherever she went, to restaurants, she got her hair cut. Everywhere she went, cryptograms are just coded messages. This is the cryptogram you're seeing on the on the screen is an older one because it comes from one of the last books my mother had of cryptograms. The way a cryptogram works, it's a simple substitution code. Every letter that you see there has represents a different letter in the alphabet than what's written. So if you see a C in the message on the board or whatever, if you see the I at the beginning, you know right away the one letter of the alphabet it is not is an I. They never match the letter, but it could be an A, B, C, D, E, anything else except an I. The last part at the cryptogram is usually a person's name at the very bottom. It tells you who said this, whatever it is there. As a little clue to how to solve a cryptogram, you look for something that's specific. Now, for our Chinese students, this may be too difficult, but for our English-speaking students, I think you have a better chance of solving this. You look for something that's particularly outstanding there that might help you, that give you a clue as to what a word is. Particularly helpful if there's a single letter all by itself. Now, as I recall, there is one single letter there. There's an R. So there are only two possibilities for what that R can be. So that's my hint. I hope that later today or tomorrow, I will have these books with me at the checkout desk tomorrow. The first 12 people who come to me with the correct solution to this cryptogram will get a chance to read this book. Of course, the rest of you can go on Amazon.com and buy a copy. It's not very expensive. I recommend it highly. At this time, we are going to do the individual awards. There are individual awards for 6th, 7th, and then combined 8th and 9th grade. We have bronze awards, we have silver awards, and we have gold awards. We begin with the 6th grade bronze awards because I don't like to show off how fluent I am in Chinese. I have asked Dr. Hu to pronounce the Chinese names for me. So let us begin with the bronze awards for 6th grade. As each student comes up, they're going to come up on this side. I will greet them. They will then go to Adam. It's just going to be you giving out the books, Adam? Or? Oh, I see. Adam will give the book. John will give the medal. And then please stop. Oh, Amy will give you your certificate. So you get 3 things from the table here. And then please wait for your picture to be taken. We are ready. The first bronze award winner is
Hu Jingbing.
next. Next bronze award,
李林佳。
The next bronze award goes to
江于轩。
The next bronze award,
严慕云。
The next bronze award goes to
王子航。
And the next bronze award is
王家浩。
The next bronze award goes to
Brian Hu。
The next bronze award goes to
郭广瑜。
And the final bronze award goes to
王泽元。
We now move on to the Silver Award. There are 4 Silver Awards for grade 6. It gets harder to win these awards as we move through bronze to silver to gold. The first Silver Award winner is
Thomas Brooks。
The second Silver Award winner is
Stephen Deng。
The third such winner is
苏童。
and the final Silver Award winner is
朱建郎。
Finally, we come to the Gold Award winners, the top scoring sixth graders, an achievement that I think is remarkable, considering the quality of the students we have here. Everyone here is an outstanding student, but we have two students who shine above the other sixth graders. The first Gold Award winner is
A.Y. Park.
And our other Gold Award winner is
James Cho.
We now come to our seventh grade winners. Again, we go bronze, silver, gold. We have 7 bronze winners in seventh grade. The first such winner is Jacob Bassino. Oh, there's more on the back. I misspoke before. There's more than 7 bronze winners. I didn't turn my paper over to the other side. There's 12 bronze winners, actually. The next bronze winner is Benjamin Elbaz. Congratulations. The next bronze winner is
Kenny Huang.
The next bronze winner is Trevor Young. The next bronze award winner is
李万哲。
The next bronze winner is Ryan Denemy. This is Ryan's 3rd year with us, I believe. The next winner for Bronze Award is
朱银修。
The next bronze winner is
沈佑然。
the next bronze winner,
曹梦。
the next bronze winner is
26。
the next bronze winner is
李书成。
and the final bronze winner is Peter Wallman. We now move on to the Silver Award winners. The first Silver Award winner is Matthew Faltus. The next Silver Award winner is Nishan Inampudi. The next silver award winner is
朱新宇。
the next silver award winner is Anish Baraji. Congratulations. Keep going. Perfection. The next silver award winner is Nivedita Kripalani. And the final silver award winner is Gordon Fan. Finally, we have 3 gold award winners for grade 7. Again, the creme de la creme. The first gold award winner for 7th grade is
黄一鸣。
The next gold award winner is
Jake Wang。
And the final gold award winner for grade 7 is
安珠画。
We move on now to our combined 8th and 9th grade awards. I really think we should call them 9th and 10th graders because they are going into 9th and 10th grade. I think we should rename this next year. I really do. I don't know. Fine. All right, we have 6 bronze awards for our former 8th and 9th graders, now 9th and 10th graders. The first bronze award for grade 8, 9, 10.
李子清。
The second such award goes to
宋之天。
The next such award goes to
安珠旺。
And the next one goes to
Jimmy Zhou。
The next one goes to
Emma Carr。
Our final bronze award for grades 8 and 9 goes to Elizabeth Wright. Is Elizabeth? Is she, oh, she's coming. We now come to the 3 silver awards. The first such award goes to
Kevin Young.
the next one goes to
郑浩。
and the final silver award goes to Rahul Rajaram. We now come to the Gold Awards for grade 8 and 9. There are 2 such awards. The first such award goes to
狄仁旭。
And our final individual award for grades 8 and 9 goes to Athreya Kadambi. And that concludes the individual awards. We now have 2 team awards to make. Before we make those team awards, I just want to say that teamwork is something that we stress in the United States. One of the things we hope that you learn from being here is how important it is to work together. On the team round, you all had to work together on each team, solving as many problems as possible out of 10 problems in a 60-minute time limit. And in the relays, you really learned the meaning of teamwork, because if one person on the team was unable to solve a problem, then the whole team could not solve the problem. I hope you learned something about teamwork during the time you were here. For grades 6 and 7, the top scoring team overall, I like to stall a little bit, make it a little exciting. You know how at the Academy Awards they have an envelope you open? I know that tension, a little tension is sometimes good for you. The winning team is, hard to believe, but Team 10 is taking the award. Well, Team 10, come forward. What? No? The Team 1, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that was a mistake. He had a 10 written next. I apologize. I am so sorry. Team 1, I'm sorry. These things happen. Don't kill me. I am so sorry. I saw the number 10 next to it. It's a terrible mistake. Now I know how the guy at the Academy Awards felt a few years ago when he read the wrong name. Who was that who did that? Ray, in the future, please do me a favor. Don't write 2 numbers next to the team awards. I apologize. Precious, I know how much that meant to you. I'll buy you another pizza tonight, I promise you. It's Team 1 should come up for the team award. Sorry. You gotta see this.
Line up this time.
Put them on and we'll take a team picture.
A week and a half ago, when we announced the final team award for our 4th and 5th grade session, as the members came up and just as they received their awards, we had a blackout. We just finished just as the last awards were given out. I am praying that we do not have a blackout tonight as the last awards are given out. The top scoring team on the 8th and 9th grade level is Team 12. Yes, I just want to see. He has team awards, 10 he has.
That's 10. Oh, wait. Oh,
Uh,
10,
uh,
10 awards.
You know, but I'm looking at it fat, you know. It's Before I forget, I was told to announce to those North American students who have decided to leave tonight rather than tomorrow that at 9:30 this evening you should meet in the lobby of ICOF so that we can collect your key cards and your access cards. Very important. So I know there's a handful of you who want to leave tonight. You have plane reservations and so on. All right. I'd like to thank. Is there something else? All right. I have been requested by Dr. Who. I've been requested by Dr. Who to have one counselor from each team after I finish my concluding statements to come on the stage and help us undo the structure that you see here. We need one counselor from each team to help out. I want to thank all of you who are here tonight for coming tonight and to the students for participating. I don't know if you realize how important the parents are who are here. I would not be on this stage tonight if it weren't for my mother. My mother was a math major and a physics minor in a day when very few women majored in math and physics. She went to a special school in New York City for gifted women. She won a scholarship to Cornell, but a partial scholarship, did not have the money to go there. So she went to a public college, a free public college for young women in New York City. She encouraged me my whole life. There was a time in my life when I didn't know if I would be successful, but my mother was there, always telling me I would be a success. And the parents who are here tonight, who have encouraged their children to be successes, all deserve to be honored and respected for what they do. It's the most important thing a parent can do is to build their children's confidence and help them achieve their greatest potential. Thank you all for coming here tonight. I hope to see many of you back next year. If anybody wants a photograph of the handsome young men who work with me, be my guest, come up and do what you want to do. Good night and good luck. Reminder, I have these cryptograms. Anybody who wants it, I'm going to leave it at the edge of the stage.
One counselor from each team